Alright, welcome back everybody, my name is Aethers, and today we're playing on Dusk Towers against a player named Mauricio. Let's go ahead and get right into it. My opponent is going to be playing Protoss today, and I've been playing a lot of Protoss in the ladder, and this is the first time I've played somebody that does this particular build order. My build order is going to be down in the comments again, like always, but it's going to be a 13 pylon, a 14 assimilator, and then a 15 gateway. This is going to be my my Dark Templar opener. Two disruptors is going to be the plan. It's a 15 gateway, and as soon as my assimilator's up, I'm going to fill it up with my probes, just to get that that quick Vespene gas to make sure I've got enough to get a couple of sentry or stalkers out, and to get the Twilight Council and Dark Shrine. Now I'm going to try and get a fast Nexus. I'm going to go 17 pylon, just for a wee bit of sight, just to make sure I know if he comes in to my base for, you know, like some early, you know, cannon rush or cheese like that. So I'm gonna go 18 Nexus. I could have gone, you know, 17 Nexus and then put the pylon down, but that's just the way I went. As soon as I've got enough after I drop the Nexus, I'm gonna bring out a Zealot, just for any early probe aggression or anything like that. I mean, if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. But anyway, so I'm going to go for a 20 cybernetics core and then a 21 assimilator. Now I'm going to try and saturate this base as soon as possible, just so I can get my natural saturated. I'm going to not scout this game, just for whatever reason I didn't scout. Honestly, I tend not to against the Protoss players, and I really should. There goes my mothership core as soon as I can, and my warp gate, and a stalker, all at about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's why I get my first assimilator so fast, just so I can make sure and pump all that out all at once. Now, again, the point of this is to get a strong economy and to get out a my Dark Templar for harassment. Now I'm going to go 31 Twilight Council. And then at my natural, I'm going to be dropping out double pylons for defense, just so I can, you know, do the photon overcharge should he come in with, you know, a couple of zealots or stalkers or anything like that. Now the build that my opponent's going for, let's go ahead and change over. He's actually going for the same thing I'm going for. He's going for a quick Dark Shrine and Dark Templar. Now he's been quite a bit behind me in minerals this whole game, simply because he's just been going for one base for all this stuff. I'm a bit behind simply because I went for my Nexus first. Real quick, I went for 34 double pylon, and then as soon as my Twilight Council was done, I went for my Dark Shrine at 40, and anytime I have any extra minerals, I'm pumping out another stalker. So let's go ahead and keep going. Now he is going for, you know, his Dark Shrine, but he didn't bother changing these into warp gates for whatever reason, I don't know. but he immediately begins to try and get out his Dark Templar. Now I don't know any of this because I can't see him because I didn't go scout, but I do have 44 gateways going down, two gateways, and another pylon just to make sure I've got you know just enough room for my stuff. I did drop out a 45 robotics facility for whatever reason. I honestly don't know why I did that. I don't normally add that to this build until at least after I get my third base. But for whatever reason I did, and I'm glad I did because he's going Dark Templar. So as soon as my Dark Shrine is done, I'm going to warp in a couple of those guys, and immediately I'm going to start harassing. I'm actually going to change it back to everyone, because while I'm doing this, he's already got his 4 Dark Templar on the way. As soon as my robotics facility is done, I'm going to go at about 5 minutes. I'm sorry, 5.5 minutes. I'm going to go and get my observer out, get my forge out, and go from there. So I'm going to change it back to my point of view, and my Dark Templar are going down to him, and his Dark Templar are actually right outside my base, just waiting to go. The plan was to put my forge in so I can get some photon cannons for defense. I'm just sort of running around trying to see if he's got a robotics facility to make sure. I do see he's got his Dark Shrine, so I'll make sure in a minute to make sure and get that taken care of. Now, something I've found the best way to go into somebody's base is to, if they do have any sight things, especially on the ground, just take them out first, because then your Dark Templar can go and do whatever they want, because they can't see you. I did photon overcharge that pylon, but I didn't bother to send my observer over there so they could see. So I've just got mine into his base, he's got his in mine, but I was lucky enough to get my observer out fast enough, and I took out his photon cannon so he can't see me. Right now my Dark Templar are just tearing up his base. He tried to drop in a couple of photon cannons, but they just wasn't in time. I'm going to change it back to everyone, and you can see that he's got a couple of Dark Templar down here, and he's got a second base, but he just wasn't able to get it out fast enough, so he wasn't able to get back to me. I did drop a Nexus at about 5.5 minutes. Same with my forge, and I wasn't even fully saturated on my first bait on my natural, but that's just the way it is. But again, this is just a great build for economy and for early harass. It's done really well against Protoss, Zerg, and even sometimes Terran. The problem with Terran is that they can get those missile turrets, they can get the Ravens out really fast, they can get whatever that thing is they can do from the command center, where they can see everything. That just screws me every time. But either way, this is just a really good build just to open up with. Instead of the Dark Shrine, just go robotics facility and then robotics bay. Get out your disruptors and just keep warping in. Stalkers. But this was a fun game for me. This is the first time I've seen somebody else use Dark Templar against against me, so that was really fun to see. But that's it for today, and I'll have the build order down in the comments. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, press like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.